is Jordan, my buddy Jordan.
What up?
If you couldn't tell, he's mixed. He is actually black.
Don't you think it's a little racist that he keeps pointing that out?
Can you call us both the N-word?
Nah, man, I can't do it.
I treat all races equal.
I also didn't know any black people until I was like 14.
See, I told you he was a. You're a racist piece of shit.
You're like edging up to a very
I'm not edging.
difficult
There's
line.
no edging.
Very sharp line.
Shut the up, Davey.
Whoa.
Stop, dude. I don't care about skin color. Davey's the one obsessed with it. You stole my television. You just broke into my house and stole my television.
I'm the one that brought my black friend.
Dude.
You gotta have the diversity of thought and opinion.
Oh, shut the up.
Rest.
Who
And
said black
specifically
lives didn't
Black
matter? Lives Matter's going, yeah, obviously black lives matter.
To
All lives matter.
support
You're not a
my life.
regular guy. You were a millionaire pharmaceutical bro.
No, I wasn't, dude.
Then why did you tell Mark Norman
I
that?
didn't tell him.
Then
that.
why did he say that?
Because he's a liar. Gnome voice is what I call
Let's
it.
introduce our guest. You brought him here. Go ahead.
This is Jordan, my buddy Jordan.
What up?
Done some shows together.
Yeah.
Jordan is a Austin comedian. If you couldn't tell, he's mixed. He is. He's not just appropriating black culture with the braids. He is actually black.
Take notes.
why
Why don't you have a pen and pad, man? Take notes, bro.
But dude, don't you think it's a little racist that he keeps pointing that out? It's like, who gives?
I appreciate him seeing me for who I am.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so you-
my
so-
black friend.
but I think in order to appreciate somebody's race, you got to be a little racist.
If everywhere I went, somebody was like, "Oh, you're half black, you're half," I'd be like, "Who gives a fuck about?"
no one's gonna think you're half
Well, that's
black.
fair.
No,
I
I'm talking about for
I
him.
see what
Like,
you're
who
saying.
gives a fuck?
Oh,
But
for
Okay, can you join the convo, Davey?
if it's the same person,
Yeah,
that would be racist.
every single
Because
time.
I've already told you.
Yeah. Every
already
time you
told
meet him,
you
he's like,
I'm
"Oh,
half
you're
black."
half black." Yeah,
Yeah.
I told you yesterday, dude.
But if it's individual
Yeah.
people, it's like, all right, that just
Yeah.
happens because it just, the times that we live in, which it don't really mind.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say that I'm black. I'm happy to say that I'm half white. Like, I ain't no shame in either one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if it's from the same person, bro, yeah, that'd be like,
That'd
wait,
be a little,
why
well,
do
I
you
mean,
keep
are
asking
you
me?
half black or are you just from Dallas?
Nah, yeah, that's a great question.
See, I didn't think black. I did think Post Malone vibe. I was like,
That's
he's got a
fair.
Post Malone
Yeah,
vibe. And you're
I've
from
gotten
Dallas. You're
that.
both from the same place.
I'm white passing is what we call it.
White passing?
Yeah, I'm white.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm white passing. Like I won't ever, according to a lot of people that
Yeah.
have told me, you won't get pulled over because of the color of your skin. I'm like, I would say that's very, if we living in that reality.
But if they
then-
heard you talk, they'd be like, yeah, we got to arrest this guy.
Yeah, and what's interesting is like you get a lot of times like I've be talking to people and it's like, oh man, like you talk black, and I would say that I would think that I don't know if that's really a real thing. I think there's like I don't know, maybe it is.
Did your parents talk like that?
No, my dad's country.
Really?
My dad's like he doesn't have like a twang like that, but we're both from Arkansas. I think it's just you.
But is your dad black?
My dad's black.
And he's got a country accent?
Not really country, but he's from the country, but he's not. He doesn't have like a super country.
So
accent,
he's
but
actually appropriating our culture.
a little bit.
Dude,
Yeah.
people from the South, the blacks and the whites from the South, they're very similar.
Don't call them the blacks, dude.
They're very
Don't do
similar.
that.
Oh, yeah, you got to pass. We're good.
Don't
Yeah,
make it racist. What am I supposed to call them, Davey? But
Just
no, I
our
seriously-
Afro-American friends.
That's fair
People
too.
of color.
I mean, to me, it's
You
like
see how confusing it is, though. That's why I
just
don't really
stupid.
get mad when they like, nah, but it's a very
Yeah.
confusing time. Hey,
dude, we're all fucking mixed, dude. We're all mixed. We're all. I mean, if we could really go back and see the thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking years of
Say
art.
the N-word, dude.
nah. You could call
Jesus
me black,
Christ.
but you can't call me that.
the whole fucking Davey's gonna get this whole show banned now because of his racism.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I
It
mean-
is ironic that y'all are drinking ginger ale and you are both gingers. That's
Yeah,
that's
man.
Are
interesting.
you a ginger? What the fuck? I
yeah.
couldn't even tell he's a ginger.
I guess.
How can you pick up on all this shit? You're like, he's black, he's a ginger.
Is it
I
just
can't
the
tell
lighting?
any of this
No,
shit.
you've got like a reddish hue.
Yeah,
to your
yeah,
hair.
for sure. It's changed over time.
looks
Like,
brown
I used
to
to be
me,
a little
man.
bit more vibrant. My hair used to be more vibrant,
Yeah.
but it's gotten brown. And in some places, it's like getting black.
Yeah.
So
Really?
When I grew up all the time, like my mama would always take me to the salon, and all the women we try to match my color of my hair. Now, like I got a little older, like people ask me, "Do you dye your hair?" I'm like, I'm a grown man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
dyeing my hair.
People tell
don't
me
do
that
that.
too.
That's
People-
crazy.
And then I have friends from high school. They're all going bald because I'm old as fuck.
Right.
And they're all going bald, looking terrible. And then so they start saying shit like that. You're dyeing your hair because they don't want to
It's like, no,
admit.
dude, I just never got married and don't have kids. and
That's
have no
exactly
stress
what
in
it
my
is,
life.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it is.
Right?
It's the not having the nagging wife
Yeah.
and the fucking million honey to do lists on the weekend.
Yeah.
Just fucking. I mean, it's insane, dude.
Yeah. These women will age you dramatically.
I mean,
So-
yeah, it's definitely it's a stressor.
Dude, did you see the video of the chick that was running the track and field and she whacks the other chick in the head?
Oh yeah.
Dude, pull that up, Jimmy. I sent that to you.
Yeah.
And she was apologizing to say it was on accident.
Dude, we got both of them, and it's amazing.
No way.
It's amazing that she has the balls to come out and say, like, I didn't.
That this was an accident.
Yeah. Okay, so Jimmy, full screen it, please.
Wait, hold on, pause it. You guys aren't scared, are you?
Scared of what?
No.
Oh, they're black. I was making sure you guys are
Scared of what? They're black? Dude, I don't care about skin color. Davey's the one fucking obsessed with it. I think we care too much about skin color in this country. We're all fucking Americans.
Look at this.
Look, okay, as soon as she sees the other one is passing her, boom.
I think
she's still lost, dude.
Well, she got this.
Started from the beginning. Okay, look. See, she says it was an accident, but as soon as she's getting past, her first response is like, "Oh no, you fucking did it!" And she starts whacking her in the back of the head.
And that's an accident.
Because you know that's what was in her head. And it's like, bitch, you use all that energy to whack her in the head. How about use that energy to run faster? Yeah. Run faster.
We don't know.
She must have been talking
be a
shit
trans
before
athlete.
the man. Yeah.
Dude, and what are those batons made of? Like fucking lead?
Metal.
Yeah.
Why don't they?
I'm pretty sure they're
look,
heavy.
Look, if we got, we got some thuggish people running, maybe you might want to put. Look. Shut the fuck up, Davey.
Whoa.
Stop trying to, Davey. Seriously, let me make a joke without you doing that every fucking time.
No, dude, not a joke like that.
No.
Not a joke
when a
like
woman
that.
smashes somebody in the back of the head,
You said she was
in
thuggish.
a race. That's thuggish.
I don't know.
Is that not thuggish to smash somebody?
I ain't I'm not the consultant here. Y'all gotta hash that. Y'all gotta hash that.
This is him being racist again, because a thug can be of anybody of any fucking color, and black people are allowed to be called thugs, and it's not racist if they act like a fucking thug, Davey.
That's fair.
Okay,
There
and when you're in a
white
fucking
thugs back in the
race,
40s.
when you're in a fucking race, and some
I
little
don't know, dude.
girl is passing you up, and your response is to beat her in the back of the head with a metal fucking baton.
You'd call her violent, not thuggish. Hey,
You're a pussy.
Listen, bro.
Stop
I'm just
being a
trying
pussy.
Not to get canceled.
This is America. Get canceled. That you know how to blow your career up is to get canceled these days, Davey.
You know what? That's true. These
Do you want to
nappy-headed
fucking have a
hoes
career or not?
Oh,
Don
God.
Imus got canceled for, dude.
Who?
Okay, now
Imus.
look. Okay,
He's dead now.
okay. This
Yeah.
beautiful not thug. She did it on accident. She was running. She's not a thug. She was running and just all of a sudden had a muscle spasm and started beating the other woman in the back of the head.
Thank
Not
you.
a thug. Sweet, beautiful angel. Make sure it's got
I'm
sound,
just a
Jimmy.
person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose. I'm just a person by myself.
it.
Nobody's gonna
I'm just a
believe me.
person by
because
myself. What does that mean?
I want to hear your thoughts.
No one's
Somebody ask
supporting her.
ChatGPT. What does "I'm a person by myself" mean?
I mean, it sounds exactly like what somebody would say in this situation when they know they're like fucked up and nobody's got their back.
Did you hear the smoke alarm going off in the background of this video too?
Yeah, no, not this one. Not this one.
All right.
That was racist. See, look at he
That's
actually
not
says racist shit. I treat all races equal.
There's a
I treat
smoke alarm going off
all
in the
races
back.
I'll
equal.
be honest with that. That's a pretty fucking funny joke.
Yeah,
I give
I
him
know,
that.
I know, I know.
So I think what she said something about intentions. I think it's your intentions is what can make it racist or not racist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I intended to point out that there was definitely a
I
smoke
think
alarm going off in the
I think
background.
there's too much.
I swear to God, dude, I can hear it.
There's too much labeling of racism for shit that is
Yeah,
not
play
racist.
it back real quick, Jimmy.
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit
wow.
from the video
Dude,
it does
hey, I
look
gotta give you
purposeful,
that.
but I know
I
my
gotta give you
intentions
that.
and I would
What I
never
missed that.
hit
What?
somebody
There
on
was a
purpose.
smoke alarm going off in
by
the
myself.
background of this.
Nobody's gonna believe me.
Oh Jesus Christ! You're right. Somebody put that in there, dude. Somebody put that in there. That was edited in there.
No, dude.
It was edited
No,
in
the
there.
acoustics-
No, because look, you're gonna make this video. Of course, you're gonna do that. I would too. You edit that
my
shit in there.
gosh. I didn't even catch that. And that like that's how I know you from a white background, dog. 'Cause you caught it. You caught it on the first go around.
Oh Jesus,
That's funny.
dude. Yeah.
That's
I don't know. See, this is the shit that's annoying. It's like we're all Americans. This bitch fucked up, and then I can't criticize her. Everybody's gonna call me a racist if I criticize her for
No, you can
fucking up.
criticize her.
No, that's what I just called her a thug. She acted like a thug, and that's racist.
All right.
If you're beating
I guess-
somebody
I
in the
guess
back
the
of the head,
question-
a violent act, a criminal act of violence, I think a thug is a proper term for that type of behavior.
All right.
That's a great. As long as you can explain it, like not that you always have
We-
to, but
yeah,
you have an
yeah.
explanation. If you would just be like,
See,
oh,
but
I
it's
don't
people,
know, I just
it's
picked
people
that
like
word in.
Davey.
All right.
It's people like Davey It's like as soon as like a black guy breaks into your house and steals your TV, and you're like, this thug stole my TV, and Davey's like, whoa. It's like he just broke into my fucking house and stole my television.
I'm the one that brought my black friend.
Whoa, dude!
Hold on.
How could you say that? Whoa! He stole my fucking television.
You could have said he stole money. You didn't have to say TV. You know black people love TV.
I mean, we're going with the highest probability here. Of what, I don't have money, but I have TVs. Okay.
Yeah, they're not stealing identities. I
Man,
mean,
you
we
better
know
mount that TV, dog. Mount that TV. Holler at me.
Oh yeah. I got
Nice
too
one,
many.
too.
Yeah.
I got TVs in
It's
closets,
the
like
old
hidden
Samsung
away.
Curve.
Oh man.
TVs are cheap as fuck now too, so there's
so
no real
cheap.
no reason to be
It'll
stealing
be a little
TVs.
bit cheaper too. We get all those semiconductor factories over here.
Yeah, yeah, you're speaking my language, dude.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you like the tariffs, Jordan?
I think it's
Don't put him in the spot like
It's a
that.
drug war, not a trade.
Clearly
war.
he likes.
There it is.
Clearly he likes the
That's-
tariffs.
Straight
on
straight
Anybody-
headline media though. I got that straight
That's
from the
free
media.
game.
How old are you, dude?
26.
26. Okay, so you're pretty young compared to us old fuckers over
Yeah,
here.
old bastards. Yeah.
So like anybody that's lived our lives, it's like you have to. How can you be against tariffs when you understand the end goal is to simply bring back jobs and
I'll
production
tell
in
you
this
what,
fucking
because
country?
my stock portfolio
You pussy.
is plummeting right
You're
now.
all right.
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
brutalizing my stock
Are you
portfolio.
trading daily, like to make?
You have a lot of global
cash? Are you day trading, or-
in your portfolio?
I mean, no, not necessarily. I mean, even Bitcoin. Well, I guess Bitcoin is kind of globalist, isn't it? No, I've got Tesla. And Tesla's just getting annihilated right now.
Yeah.
You should have called me. I would have told you to sell Tesla before the election.
Listen, bro, I made a lot of money on it way before the election, and I didn't sell it all off, and that's on me. That is on me. I'm trying to think what else I've got. Well, ExxonMobil. That's also a globalist company.
But
Damn it.
they say recessions make millionaires.
Now is
Yeah.
the time to buy.
That's-
If we're headed to, if we're
Yeah.
gonna be in a recession, I don't know.
I think
but-
we're fine. I think you're gonna see the market do its thing, where it's like gonna correct, and it's got to take into account this and that. And
It
then,
did need to correct.
and
It was
then
due
And
for
what they were
correction.
what they were saying is
it's been
that-
overinflated for a long fucking time. And like this is the biggest problem that I fucking have with the market, and the media is like, oh, the market's up. Dude, the market's been going up forever, and it hasn't improved the lives of regular people. The lives of regular people are still the
I'm a
fucking
regular
same.
guy. It's improved.
You're not
my
a
life.
regular guy. You were a millionaire pharmaceutical bro.
No, I wasn't, dude.
Then why
Everyone
did you
thinks
tell
that.
Mark Norman that?
I didn't tell him.
Then
that.
why did he say that?
Because he's a liar. No. Mark Norman is not a liar. He's a good person. I love you, Mark. Don't you fucking dare clip that out, you son of a bitch. I know he's gonna do it too. You motherfucker.
I don't clip things out unless. What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't take things out of context in your clips?
No, not in this.
You son of a
not in
bitch.
this. I wouldn't do it in this.
I love this white on white violence, man.
But I don't worry about it.
Makes me feel good.
Every culture is more racist than our culture.
Mm.
We have the least racist culture in the world. That's the reality.
That's fair.
But yet, all we talk about all the fucking time is how racist everything is.
Well, this is something else I just learned. Now, again, this is all things that I was just like listening to people talk about, so it's not necessarily me forming my own opinions on it. But what they say is like the whole idea of race and like why we're still floating it is the triple K mentality, and that's what they want. The Democrat. Again, this is stuff I've heard. So it's like the Democratic Party, they get a lot of the votes based off of convincing people that they're oppressed. And that's how they get a lot of these votes. Now, I'm not saying that's how all of them get votes, but if you look at a lot of their policies, it's based off of like a lot of social reform, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And so like this whole idea, like us, I feel like we're in a time now where a lot of black people are starting to believe that we're actually not oppressed. I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but I feel like there's black people out here that are making money, they're doing their thing. They're successful people, and they don't have the mentality of like, I'm oppressed, I'm not gonna get opportunities because I'm black.
Well,
Antonio Brown's leading the charge, dude.
The American people are oppressed in a way, but I think what we have to get to is the idea of seeing everybody as American people, right? And
Right.
that's what they want, is to divide us, so we don't come together as Americans and realize, oh, we're all getting fucked over.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if we
but
all
then that doesn't allow me to virtue signal. And I need to be able to do that
Yeah.
because of my white guilt.
see, I told you he was a pussy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
At least he's willing to admit
It's
it.
just what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. See, I don't have those hangups, right? I don't
That's
I don't
good.
know. And it's funny because Davey, you grew up. To me, like I grew up. I'm a '90s kid.
Yeah.
Right. There was less racism in the '90s and early 2000s than there is now.
Well, no.
when I
there
say
wasn't less
racism, no, there
Okay,
was
go ahead.
less. There was less
ahead.
because the universities like got obsessed with this fucking
Affirmative action.
affirmative action, diversity, fucking just everything was about race. Everything was
I
about
think
power.
race
Everything was
talked
about white
less
privilege.
in the 90s.
Yeah, but
for sure.
And then the more you talk about it, the more
But I
you
also didn't know any black people until I was like 14.
Okay, well that's weird. I had a lot of black friends. I played a lot of sports.
It's not a contest, dude. It's not a fucking contest.
Well, I mean, it's just weird to me. Like, you didn't play sports?
No, dude, I was homeschooled.
Oh, no wonder. Yeah.
And, well, I mean, I did play sports, but I was a swimmer.
Yeah, 'cause you can't really play sports without having
competitive
black
swimming,
friends.
not a lot of
We're getting there though. We got a
minorities.
couple coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude, once they figure out, I mean, we saw them figure out tennis, dominated.
Baseball.
Once they figure out ice hockey and swimming,
They didn't dominate
over.
tennis.
Venus and Serena Williams,
Yeah,
bro?
that's female tennis. That don't count.
Wow.
That don't count.
Wow, dude.
Female tennis doesn't count.
That's wild.
All I'm
I'm
saying
sorry.
is they not
It doesn't.
like this, okay?
I mean, it counts for females, but not for, what matters.
Golf. Golf
Tiger
was-
Woods.
golf
Okay.
was a very
I'll count that.
white-dominated
I'll
sport.
count that. I'll
yeah,
count that.
I mean, and honestly, like, what an accomplishment because he was Blasian, or he is Blasian, I should say.
So, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like,
The hottest of the mixes, in my opinion.
That's fair.
to me,
Yeah.
we should have a meritocratic society, which Davey didn't even know what meritocratic meant last time I tried to tell him about it. I was trying to tell him why diversity is like
Sounds
kind of
racist to me.
terrible. This was a few years back, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, diversity." I was like, "What do you mean diversity? Like, if you're the best comic, you want to be passed over for somebody just because to meet a quota? When you're the best fucking comic and you did all the work?" And then I tried to explain, "You want meritocracy, Davey? Trust me." And he's like, "I don't know. I got to look up what meritocracy is. I don't even know."
I still don't know what it is.
He
Yeah,
said,
I
I
think
mean-
it's a real thing. Like people kind of concern themselves of, and this is also, and this could be, debunked or whatnot. But they talk about like they argue, like the workforce and some of these jobs is predominantly white and yada 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 versus, and it's like that's why we need diversity. But if you look at the amount of the population of black to white people, there's gonna be a big difference there because there's more white people in the workforce,
Yeah.
and like because there's the population, and so like this whole
It's a per
idea,
capita argument, yeah.
right? So this whole idea of like, that's because systematically that's why I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to it all the way because I feel like the mentality that they try to push and there's certain black advocates that don't go for that same like subscription of like, oh yeah, we need to believe this, because I think it can hinder creativity, development, all those different things. So
Yeah, I think it's terrible for black people.
yeah, and
I think it's-
really any sort of environment because I mean I would say that you have to admit there's been times where black people were at a huge disadvantage.
Sure.
But I think now we live in the society that we live in now. I think we're getting farther away from that. If they let us,
I think
shit.
if you go look at like the status of like the black family in the 40s, they were actually way better off than they are now. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
You look at it, like all the families were together.
Yeah.
You had a full household, mother, father,
You also-
kids,
you
very
attribute to that.
religious.
Black
Yeah.
Wall
Very-
Street, dude?
Very religious. Yeah.
That shit was
Doing their own
crazy.
shit,
Yeah,
making their own
money.
deals.
But
yeah.
but those places got attacked by, the supremacists.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
and
mean, there was
stuff like that.
definitely, yeah.
But to the black
Yeah.
family, if I'm not mistaken, like a lot of that stuff, the breaking up of any, like just the nuclear family in general is like attributed to feminism.
Oh, no shit, yeah.
And then also
Yeah.
subsidizing, single parent
Yeah,
households.
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you come,
You don't need to
come
stay.
get this. You can come get this.
Yeah,
ABR.
you're incentivized. Anytime you incentivize something, you're going to get that result. So
Yeah.
if you go, hey, leave your husband, you're going to get all this welfare. You're going to get all these checks. It's like
yeah.
all these women are like, well, I'm fucking sick of this son of a
A
bitch.
lot of,
Yeah.
a
I'm
lot
outta
of these
here.
principles hit in comedy, too. Like the industry that me and Jordan work in. We see it all the time.
Is that
you
an
know?
insult? Are you
What?
insulting me?
Yeah, you're not a comic, dude.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you're a
right.
podcaster.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You're
okay. No, I'm
you're
not a
clip guy,
podcaster.
you know?
A clip guy. We're going to have to fight after this if you call me a clip guy.
That's
Clip
gonna be
guy.
Clip
good.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Stream that
You
live.
have,
artist.
you have no
Mark, you're
idea
an
how
artist.
rough things
Listen,
are right now,
You're
dude.
an artist. You're just not equal, you know? How's that feel?
I don't have any respect for stand-up comedians. How's that feel?
Oh, well, I hope Ari Shaffir sees this. I hope Tim Dillon
Ari-
sees this and Mark Norman. Mark doesn't respect you, guys. He
No,
just
I
makes
respect
fun
them.
of you
I respect them as
with
humans.
his cute little clips.
I just don't respect them as monkeys on stage. A couple
glad
monkeys
the comments that
dance.
he listed were-
dance.
We're all white, dude. When he said monkey, dude, I was like, oh, I should have said Darius Bennett. God
He
damn it.
walked the line with that one right there, dog.
That was close. But you know what that does?
I didn't even think about their
that
skin
fully
color.
justifies
Yeah, I
the
know.
thug comment.
So the dude got off work Sunday night, went home, and was murdered in the parking lot.
Wow.
And
So they don't believe it was a targeted thing?
I don't
because of
think
his
so.
Political affiliation?
No, I think that at this point it's just a guy coming home late at night in a fucking
Damn, honestly,
some
with that
thugs.
piercing, I probably would have murdered him too.
That's crazy.
Look at that.
Like to
The cartilage
I don't
piercing.
know,
Ugh.
man. That sounds like a cover up.
Go down.
Right.
What's it say? What's it say?
Apparently, it was the second time
Chandelier.
he tried to break into his car.
Sorry to cut you off, but this
No,
is
go
the
ahead.
latest. So this is Austin police says InfoWars writer Jamie White possibly killed by car burglars.
Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios.
The investigation continues into the murder of InfoWars writer Jamie White. Police over in Austin, Texas, saying that White was shot and killed when he interrupted thieves who appeared to be trying to break into his car. As of the last update from police, no suspects have been identified or
See, I think a
taken
lot
into
of the
custody.
concerns, and for me as well, is that
It's probably like Riverside, right?
you see the shit going
Might
on
be.
with Elon Musk, where they're like targeting all the Teslas, and they're like actually if they see a Cybertruck, they're like chasing it down the road.
Yeah, they're
hitting it.
firebombing
Yeah.
Teslas now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Did-
man.
did
That's
I-
crazy.
Can you pull that up, Jamie? What's going on with the Teslas?
You called him Jamie.
Oh yeah, that's
We're
that's
just gonna
right
call him
over- yeah.
Jamie from now on.
Wow.
That's
dude.
right on the south
Yeah.
side of
Yeah.
Riverside. Dang.
It's not,
It's not
worst,
even
yeah.
the worst place, but I mean, it can
There's
get a little
with
dicey over there.
Little
Yeah.
bit of money over there, probably.
But the thing is, like, people that are looking to like break into shit, they're gonna go to the nicer neighborhoods and canvas for an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's probably all they were doing. They just happened to be driving by as this guy's getting out of his car at midnight.
I don't think this was a random like car burglary situation. I mean, just like they're saying the Ladybird Lake killer, it's not a serial killer. Bullshit. It's a serial killer.
That's fair.
This is definitely a targeted attack, and I can't wait to hear what Alex says about it.
Yeah.
Like once he
Pull
like
up the-
does his
he-
digging and
he-
everything.
oh yeah, he's already talked about it, but yeah, they don't know really right now what's going on. I hope, as sad as this seems to say, I hope it was just random violence.
Yeah.
Because if it's not,
It's not.
if we've gotten to the point where the crazy fucking Redditors who are basically acting like terrorists on Reddit right now, I don't know if you're watching this, but they're calling for like murdering people on Reddit.
Ridiculous,
Well, even on the
man.
TikTok, like Jordan does the TikTok debates.
Yeah.
You see all kinds of craziness on the TikTok debates. I don't
Yes.
think a lot of people know about that.
Yeah, the TikTok debate, man, it's something else. I join them every now and again, listen to a lot of the times.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
cut you off.
nuts, bro.
Yeah, so they're burning down. They're just. It's like Elon Musk. That's the guy they're gonna go after.
Wow.
5 minutes ago, they were like, "He's the greatest ever. He's gonna save us from climate change," and now he's,
I mean, you know how many jobs Tesla, like how many people that Tesla employs, and he's somehow now a bad guy.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
yeah.
all of a sudden like an evil monster,
Yeah,
whereas before he was going to be the savior of mankind
but-
and take us to Mars.
But you don't understand. We need trans operas in Peru. You don't understand.
trans operas.
I think
Yeah.
that's something that the USA was
yeah,
was
no, I
funding,
mean,
right?
it goes on the list.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just, I mean,
crazy.
I don't even want to say it. It's fucking insane.
They
dude.
were also arguing. So when he gave his address to Congress, he said something about transgender mice. You remember that?
Yeah.
But they basically corrected him online and saying that it was transgenic.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look up what that is. I'm not saying it's the same thing because I'm not a scientist.
It's not.
but it means-
Transgenic is something, I forgot what it means, but it's something scientific with the
But it was
yeah.
also like the research that they were doing with that has something to do with like gender affirming care of like it was something. I
Well,
read
I'll
through the
tell you what
post,
happened.
but
So
it
he
was
was right.
so much.
Yeah.
Kind of.
CNN
Like he normally
Allegedly.
CNN
He's always kind of right.
Yeah.
CNN fact checked him
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, it wasn't transgender mice; it was transgenic mice."
Yeah.
And then they had to correct their fact check and say, "No, it was transgender
Wow.
mice." So it's what they do all
That's
the time.
Crazy.
What are they saying on TikTok? Because that's where all the kids are now, right? I mean,
TikTok.
Gen Z's on
TikTok.
Yeah, man.
I don't
Yes.
even. I don't even.
I mean-
I don't use TikTok. I don't
there. Are
follow
they
it.
left leaning? Are they right leaning?
So to me, this is just my opinion. I think TikTok is more of a liberal platform only because of a couple factors. I would think is because the mass majority of people that use TikTok are inside of that. I guess political alignment of like the threshold age. They say like what I think 35 and below are typically that's the majority of the Democratic liberal makeup, and that's who majority of those people, the mass majority of people that use TikTok are inside of that age bracket, if you will. And so like there are like there's right and there's left. I join both. I listen to both sides because I think personally like I'm not a person that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna believe everything that Trump says, or I'm gonna believe everything that whatever or whatever the situation might be.
No, you got to believe everything Trump says.
Nah, man.
You don't understand. He's the God Emperor. Now, of course, you got to do your own fucking research,
Yeah.
man. And that's what's so hard is that like you can't trust any of the headlines. You can't trust
for
any.
sure.
You have to really dig deep. Trump said the U.S. spent $8 million on transgender mice. He was right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not surprising because
That's crazy.
I mean, it's big business. Like sex changes, it's big business. So they're going to be doing research on how to
$250,000
how to
to
improve,
get a dick.
how to
That's a lot.
how to
'Cause
make a
it's-
better pussy.
It's
You know,
it's,
do it on a rat first.
It's not even like this. The procedure alone is expensive, but it's also like the care that you have to have after.
The rat
Oh,
pussy.
dude.
Man,
Ratatouille pussy.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Woo!
Yeah, it's
Boy.
insane, dude. You're right.
That
Like,
is. It's a lot of stuff.
I
man.
think it's, to me, look, do what you want to do, but like just be trans with a dick. Don't cut it off. To me, that's just like, oh my god, dude. Like, there's no going back from that.
You're
like,
kinda fucking up your money at that point.
Yeah,
too,
and-
because
and
a lot
maybe-
of people will pay for a trans lady
With a dick.
And if I'm not
big ol'
wrong,
hog
man,
to
you
peg
gotta
'em.
like supposedly you gotta keep going back. Like even after the surgery, you have to keep.
oh, they got to
going
keep
back.
carving the hole, right?
They
'Cause the
got to
hole
keep
closes
doing
up.
stuff
Yeah.
like for the rest of your life, and so it's like a whole lot of stuff that I feel like
It never gets wet on his own, and it's
didn't
an
know that.
open. I learned this from a trans woman.
Is you talking about the
it's
pussy?
an open wound, right?
Yeah, it's an
Ah.
open wound that you have to continually care for. Otherwise, it'll close up. Plus, you have to continually expand it.
Wow.
Yeah, forever. So you're basically having to gape your new pussy, which is
Wow.
wild. But it's true. It's a
That's
real
crazy.
thing, and it's basically just an inside-out dick.
That's wild.
Whatever. Sorry.
Dang, man. What are some things we can't say? That, like,
Say
'cause I
whatever
don't-
you want, because
Oh,
this is
okay.
going to be edited. Like if you say,
Gotcha.
if you say,
Can you
like,
call us both the N-word? Jordan?
Nah, man, I can't do it.
You don't say the N-word?
Y'all not paying me.
No,
Oh,
no. You don't ask.
Gotta-
you,
gotta get
that
paid
is
for
so
that,
rude.
brother.
You don't ask a man that. You know what I'm saying? You don't-
To call you the N-word?
I tried to get Mike to call you the N-word one time.
He wouldn't do it?
Yeah, no, he got mad at me.
Really?
He was like,
Black Mike wouldn't
I
call
was
me
like,
the
but it
N-word.
would be
That's
funny if
crazy.
all of
We're
a sudden.
friends.
So y'all want to give y'all some advice from a half black man?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Y'all, you want it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Black people hate it
Yeah.
when you ask them to call me a word.
Yeah. Of
Just,
course.
just on some.
I've had a
real-
lot of them call me
I
that,
learned.
though.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like if they
But
just
see-
do it as in passing, but
Okay.
if you ask them,
But see, this
That's
is
the
different.
worst.
That's the coolest I've ever felt, by
But
the
this
way.
is different because when I told Mike to do it, it was written in a script.
okay.
It was part of a comedy
Okay.
sketch. Okay.
He doesn't really say the N-word, though, does he? At all.
I'm sure he does.
I don't think he does, really.
I'm sure he. I'm sure he has. You don't know him. As a
okay.
guy we used to do a
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
with. I don't, we're talking about him as if everybody.
He's this giant. Well, he's not. He's very short, but he's roided the fuck out. dude.
Yeah.
He's massive. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Professional bodybuilder
nice,
type, like and always taking pictures in the mirror. And he's like, oh,
I'm trying
so
to
good,
get like
dude.
that, man. I've been trying to get like that, but
Trying to get built up.
yeah, man. I
Love
just
Mike, by the way. He's
pass in and
hilarious.
out too
Yeah.
much.
He just fucking. I try to get a hold of him to get him back on the show. He just never fucking responds to me.
Oh,
Never.
interesting.
Do you still got his number?
Yeah.
See if he'll respond to
No,
you.
I'll call him
Ask
up.
him what his problem is. Does he
Yeah.
want to fight?
Probably because you asked him to call
I
me
know.
the N-word, dude. Yeah. That's probably
Yeah,
why,
but it was
dude.
part of a really hilarious bit, Davey.
Yeah, well, it obviously wasn't that hilarious. Dude,
It was.
because you
It would have been
scared him
hilarious.
Off, dude.
It was.
You scared off our one black guy. That's great.
You remember?
Hey,
Okay,
hey, you halfway there,
Davey.
Jordan's the new
Yeah.
black guy.
You remember the hilarious bit where I fired you?
Yes.
That sketch that we did.
That was a great
That was
sketch.
fucking. That's like, people can say what they want. That shit is hilarious. You can watch it back now, laugh your ass off. Okay. That was part of what I wanted him to do, but I wanted him to get kind of real and almost like get really mad and
Almost like Django.
Nice.
kind of make you think, holy shit, is he like really mad at me? And then like
That would scare me, dude.
calling
If-
you the N-word. I wanted him to scream it at you.
If
like,
Black Mike came at me like
no, he's
aggressively,
terrifying looking.
Yeah, he's scary. He's a scary.
He's
looking dude.
like beyond.
Why you say he's scared?
He's,
Is he black or-
no, because he's like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was 4'8",
Nah,
but
yeah.
even bigger
yeah.
than Arnold
That'd
Schwarzenegger.
be pretty. That'd be
Like
pretty
I mean,
rad.
if you saw him, you'd
and
understand.
black, way blacker.
No,
than
forget that
my
part.
favorite part about him is that he's black. Okay, that's my
Good.
favorite
No, I'm
part.
happy for you. This is-
I love that he's black. Okay, but what I'm saying is terrifying because he's fucking huge, dude. Like
Yeah.
you look at him, if he decided to kill
Yeah,
you,
I think anybody that's big, it's no matter if you're black, white, or whatever, Latino, whatever it is, it's probably pretty scary, especially when they're short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big short guy is like, all right, yeah, you're big, but when it's like you were dedicated.
let's be real, black guys are a
He's
little
built like a Jeep
scarier.
Renegade, dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Black
insane.
guys are a little scarier, especially when they look like Mike. Okay, you got to see Mike.
All right. I'm
He
gonna have
looks
to check
like-
out Mike, man.
He looks like if Dave Chappelle just got back from Vietnam.
Why don't you put on Fall Boys? Put on something else. Like Animal Crossings. Or Fortnite! Getting tired of soy motherfuckers.
I want to go back to this though, Jordan, because being called the N-word by a black guy is the absolute coolest
No,
a
it's
white
not.
guy will ever
No, it's
feel.
not. No, it's not.
You're racist if you don't believe that.
I guess it
No.
depends on the context, but I know where you're coming from. Though, like I would say, there's a version of me that like when certain black people acknowledge my blackness without me having to tell them.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And they're not saying that them calling me that is them acknowledging it, but I've been in situations where like it's like a group of us or whatever, and then I'm like the only other black dude in the conversation, and then they, address me differently, just like that the Key and Peele skit.
Yeah.
So it's like almost the same thing, but for me it's a little different because I'm white pass and half black guy. So.
Yeah, I bet you get like some
I can't imagine
racism because you
Yeah.
are light skinned.
It's got to be rough. It's got to be rough.
You're like the Drake of comedy, dude.
Man, I don't want to be the Drake of comedy. I love Drake. Drake's my favorite artist, but I don't know, man. I would
Maybe
say
Drake, the
that
Post Malone of comedy, dude.
Post Malone's not half black.
Yeah, but he looks like more like Post Malone.
Bro, we're talking about light skinned right now.
Yeah, I mean, he does look more like Post Malone.
You're
Than,
depends on the
really,
season.
yeah,
really towing a line here right now.
Yeah,
you're like edging up to a very
I'm not edging.
difficult
There's
line,
no edging.
very sharp line.
But have you seen Post Malone lately though?
no. I mean, I saw him on the.
You're
Bud Light
thinking of White
commercials.
Iris and Post Malone, I think.
Yeah,
When
the
he first
original,
came out,
the original
when he
Post
had
Malone,
the
not
cornrows or
the
whatever.
skinny cowboy Post Malone
Yeah.
now, like
he's
the
transformed.
yeah,
Dude, is
yeah.
he on Ozempic maybe?
Yeah,
I think he just cut out a lot of drugs too. They said he was
yeah.
he was on like heavy drugs and
no, but he is
alcohol.
like
Now he's creasing the bill of his
he's
hat.
not just
too.
losing weight.
That's
He
interesting.
is
That's a
like
weird one.
like even he is thinning to the point. I do think he's on Ozempic
Right?
because it is getting like crazy amounts of thin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
out of
he's lean right now.
could be preparing for some
pull
movie role.
up Post Malone, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I want to make I want you to see his hat.
Post Malone seems like a good guy, but
He's
I mean,
shooting it
yeah.
for sure.
No, I mean, dude, Sharon Osbourne, like she's on Ozempic. I think she came up with or maybe it was a video where she just looks fucking terrible. Yeah, she looks like she's dying of cancer.
Wow.
And it's like, oh yeah, Ozempic makes
Well,
you
that's
so
one
healthy.
Of the big side effects of Ozempic. You get Ozempic face.
No, your whole bone structure rots away.
Yeah.
All your muscle and bone structure. Like it's not just your fat that's leaving. Like your entire body is just
Yeah,
disappearing.
there's like you have to do certain things when you take it, like because you'll lose mass. Like
Yeah.
you'll lose your muscle mass too. So that's why they recommend like working out and like doing certain like still eating because maybe I did or maybe I didn't take it once or twice.
Well, Ozempic is
it changes your appetite. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
You're not hungry.
It can fuck you up long term too, and it doesn't just like
But
come
is it
right
worth
back.
it?
The rebound weight is the hardest to get off.
So, dude, I'm still like about 80% on whether Ari was telling the truth or not. I'm like 80% he did dose.
Dude, explain
Bert.
it to Jordan.
20% he's still he's lying and he didn't dose Bert. Like I still can't really make up my mind.
Did you see the whole thing with Ari Shaffir dosing Bert Kreischer? He put Molly in his drink and got him high without telling him.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many stories about Ari that.
Oh, he does.
So I don't know if I've heard
He
that
does
one
do
before.
some weird shit. So this whole story came out, right? We talked to Ari Shaffir about it on Pink Trip's podcast.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't dose him. That was a bit. It was a joke. Me and Bert talked about it. We agreed, like, hey, it would be a really funny bit if we pretended that I dose you, right? So first the news comes out that Ari dosed Bert. Then he says on Mark's podcast, I didn't. I lied.
Well, he said on Legion of Skanks like 6 months ago, they had that Legion of Skanks court, and I think that's where you got it from because you're the one that told me, oh, by the way, it was all a bit. It wasn't real. And that's the only clip I can find where you probably got that from.
Potentially.
And then when I watch it back, I go, how the fuck did you not know that he's lying in the court?
I mean,
the court part.
I didn't know for sure if he was or not.
Play it from. I gave you the
Is
fucking
Skanks court
right
new,
word.
or they always
hit
do
play
that?
at 11:51.
I know many of you have heard that I dosed Bert Kreischer with MDMA, otherwise known as Mandy in the UK, Molly here in America. However, as many of you know, Bert Kreischer has many stories, and almost all of them are false.
That is true.
Bert Kreischer and I were once talking about Molly, and he said, wouldn't it be a fun thing if we told everybody that you dosed me with Molly? If there is any proof that I ever did that, by all means, show it to the court. Otherwise, this is hearsay and should not be included.
Holy shit! I should have stuck with my initial instinct, which was like, there's no fucking way
That he was lying. So you believe he was definitely lying to us.
At this point, I still have to leave like maybe 10% chance that it was still all a bit that he made up with Bert. So there's still a chance in my mind that it still never really happened and it was all a bit. But I would say 85%, yeah, he actually did spike Bert.
I think he absolutely spiked Bert.
I think
there's not a doubt in my mind.
Well, you haven't read enough of the conspiracy. So Leanne was the big one that everybody's saying Leanne is mad. There's no way Leanne's acting, but Leanne got some details wrong where she said that Bert's eyes were like pins.
Oh yeah, you don't get pinners from
Yeah,
Molly.
you get so then there's that inconsistency which makes you wonder. And then it is believable to me for Bert to put on a stunt like this.
Well, I mean, Bert is a very theatrical guy.
Yeah, but then the acting, there's no way he's that good of an actor. So that's what I'm
We
saying.
don't
I have
know,
to leave 10% that
Bert
it,
acts
it
like a great
was all a
comedian,
bit.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a. I love Bert. Well, don't
Yeah.
clip that either.
So anyway,
no.
what Ari's telling me now is, yeah, he was trolling us. He said he saw the opportunity and he took it. But
Because you talked to him after the fact, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
And he said he was absolutely.
I've tried to set the record straight. You know that Ari's saying he actually did dose him. But then again,
Because
This
Matt-
is exactly what he wanted.
that's what I'm saying.
He wanted y'all to think about it for Tom to come and doubt yourself and doubt him, and then like, oh yeah, and then
it's not just us though. Go read the comments. Like on all there was like 3 other channels that did a video about our podcast.
Really?
And all the comments are like, people don't. It's back and forth. Everybody's
They're
not
fighting
agreeing.
over it?
Yeah. People think that Bert made it up with Ari, and then people think Ari clearly
it's like
did
a
it.
beef or it's
No,
like,
there's no beef. What I'm saying is just like Ari's Jew magic is so fucking high level
Yeah.
that nobody knows what really happened anymore. No matter what he says, they're like, "Is this a troll? Which is the troll?
Yeah.
Is he trolling now or was he trolling before?"
Oh, that's what you're saying.
You know, so like even the audience
That's
doesn't
Jew
know.
magic.
Yeah, we call it for Ari. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, Ari's got high level Jew magic.
What
Well,
would
look
you
at him
call it? What would you
dressed
call
up
it
as
if
a
I
dreidel
did
in this
it?
video.
What's
Those
that?
Jew guys
What would you call it if I did it?
I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to see. Ari coined that himself.
Mixed
right?
magic?
No, that could go both ways.
I think. What you're not? Do you have any Jewish in you at all?
Not that I know of.
Nothing to know of. I don't know, man.
You know what? I was thinking about this
I guess
earlier.
you could call it black magic. I guess if that's what we're looking for here.
good.
You know,
I mean,
Santana did say black magic.
You know,
woman.
it does fit. You know,
I was
like
thinking about this earlier
like
because,
it.
like, I've
better
got a
than
joke
half
about
black magic.
how,
Yeah.
like, you know, once you go black, you never go back. That saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you go black, you never go back. I was thinking about this. Once you go mixed, you never get fixed. What do you think about that? That might be a good one.
Fix as in.
I didn't think.
As
I
in
didn't
there's a
put
problem?
that into it. Whoa,
Yeah.
not a problem. No.
What's
no,
the problem?
No,
You
not
got
that
a
you're
problem?
broken after you like have sex with a mixed person.
Oh,
That's not what I was saying.
Oh,
by
I
the
see
fixed.
That's
you-
what
I
it
thought you were
sounded
saying,
like.
Okay.
Once you go mixed, you never get fixed.
Or you never are fixed.
Once you go mixed, you're already fixed.
But what does that mean to be mixed? Everybody's mixed.
I think it's
mean,
about
what is-
direct descendants, like one parent's one color or
Yeah.
race, and then the other. Like, yeah, we all got like a little bit of this and that.
I think at a certain point,
Yeah,
it's
stop
like,
trying to
what does
steal
it
mixed
matter?
color, Mark.
There's
Come on.
40. There's 40 colors in here. Like, only the last 2 colors matter.
Yeah.
And what is?
Like, it's just a social construct, I guess. It's
It's
like
all. Yeah,
what
but
we've
it's all
operated
bullshit.
on.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, but you know,
We're all fucking one human race, Davey.
Well, yeah, I
Stop
agree.
being the
women are
racist
hotter.
piece of shit.
And mixed men. I'm not calling you hot, Jordan. I don't want you to.
appreciate
There
that.
are hot women of all fucking.
I'm not saying there are.
All
I'm
women
just
are
saying
mixed.
per capita.
All women are mixed.
Take 10 mixed women.
The Sentinel
and 10,
Islands are
let's
mixed.
say white women, right? There's gonna be more hot women in the mixed group. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but not
Some of the
always.
hottest women in the world, mixed.
And not even just black and white, just like black
Yeah.
and Asian or
Blasians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it
white,
would be-
white and Asian's a good mix.
White and Asian.
Yeah.
Nah, then you're doubling down.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're kinda
I'm going off of
diluting
experience.
the hotness.
I'm going off of fucking.
What kind of Asian?
This
Good
chick was
question.
white,
Important
and then
question.
she was like Japanese, but then I think she was also Samoan. So she was like she had like kind of a small upper body and like she had a
Yeah,
insane
Mark loves
ass.
small
Insane
tits
ass.
and a fat ass. That's
Yeah.
Mark's
That's
thing.
funny.
Well, I mean, I'm not
Hey,
against
it's good,
that.
It's good to like
That's
that.
not my
This day
my
and age, brother. That's
go-to.
good.
This is a perfect segue. You know, the Ralph Barbosas of the world, Renee Vaca, the late Ken Flores,
Right.
who you knew really well. I mean, we're seeing this renaissance of comedy in, I would say, like the Latin culture, especially, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had other Latin comics like Fluffy, George Lopez.
Right.
Those are the two that come to mind right away.
Yeah.
Sure, there's more, but now we're seeing this resurgence that is kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Where
love
they're
it, man.
dominating the game. Like Ralph Barbosa is dominating the comedy game.
he's
right
going
now.
crazy.
It's insane, dude. And I mean, I remember doing shows with him. He introduced you to Ken Flores too, right?
Yeah, so we were. This was the same time. So he was in L.A. doing the shows, and this was at the Hollywood Improv years ago, 2 years ago, I think, maybe 2.5, 3 years. It was in December, if I'm not mistaken, but not this past December, but yeah, 2 years ago. And I went out there. I was already going out there for Chocolate Sundays.
Oh, okay.
And so
That's
it
a
just,
great show.
It just
At the
aligned
factory?
perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Great show.
I was just super new in comedy. I was probably a little annoying too, because I was just like in the green room every night, and I wasn't even really on the shows. He gave me a spot, and I was just so happy to be there, like in LA to do Chocolate Sundays, and then see a guy from the hometown like blowing up. I was probably like, I'm sure, like now that I've done seen how the shit works in the green room, like you got to get a headliner to space, and the people that don't show you give them the green room, you kind of fall back. So I was probably super annoying. Sorry about that, Ralph. But
Everybody's been there at one point.
yeah, man. And but we went out, man. This was a crazy story. Ralph was doing those shows. I was just kind of hanging around, whatnot, and we in the green room, sitting in the green room at the Hollywood Improv. I don't know if you performed there, right?
No, not the Improv.
So there's a green room upstairs for the main room, and you have to duck under this thing to get in, like where the couches are. So we're sitting in there, and this is all tied together. We're sitting in there just chopping it up, and then we just hear, like, we see some big fucking legs come. You can't see the full body, you can just see legs. We just see this big motherfucker. All we hear is like, get the fuck out the way. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody like stops talking, and this big dude just looks under. And we're like, what the fuck? And then he's like, all right. And then he doesn't come in, he just kind of steps back. Then next thing you know, skinny leg motherfucker walks in, it's fucking Dave Chappelle, bends down and says, what's up, motherfuckers?
Whoa,
This
dude.
was the craziest, bro. I'm a year or something in comedy, right? I'm probably like maybe a year and a half. And Chappelle just kind of sits down, and he comes in, he's just talking to Ralph, really. He's talking to everybody. Like, it was just the coolest thing ever, bro. And he's like, yeah, man, I came to see you. Like, I saw you on Show's podcast talking about, man, you could just cut hair. If you say you could just do comedy, cut hair, you would, or some shit like that. And I think that was because he said Ralph popped up in his algorithm. I think that's some cool ass shit to pop up in Chappelle's algorithm.
Those pictures that came out later.
Yeah, that was in.
That was that
in.
moment.
Yeah.
It was pictures of Ralph and Dave Chappelle on stage.
Here's the most prolific.
That's
I think
crazy,
this is to me
dude.
is the most prolific picture I think of this comedy generation. Like, yeah, this is one picture here. They cheers, but there's another picture that is like the craziest thing. Is Ralph? So they have a cigarette. So Ralph's cigarette wasn't lit. It might even be in the feed. I'm not exactly sure. But his cigarette wasn't lit. Chappelle lit his cigarette with his cigarette, and it was almost like he was passing the torch.
That's crazy.
Those are words
dude.
from Ralph. Like I wish I would have thought of that shit, but I think that was what Ralph was talking about. Like, yeah, it's like he's passing the torch. Bro, when I tell you that was like the craziest
That's a
thing,
moment, dude.
bro.
I mean, because
I never would have. Bro,
we all idolize Chappelle, dude. Like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Killing Him Softly is probably one of the greatest comedy specials of all time.
Yeah.
That's just insane. That's
and
crazy, dude.
we actually beat up somebody in the green room that same night. That
You did?
We met Chappelle. Yeah, all of us. I didn't really get any punches in, but I was in there and I saw it. It was crazy.
Wait, why did he get beat up?
He was just a random drunk guy in the green room.
He just stumbled in?
And so we all thought Chappelle sent him in there to like test our energy. Because like that was right after the guy rushed the stage.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, the trans guy.
Oh, he's trans.
Or was he trans?
So everybody was already on edge, I'm sure, after that.
Yeah, so we didn't know who he was, and like, what the fuck? He was sitting in the beanbag chair, and then like they asked me, like, because I walked in, he was already in there, and they was like, hey, you sitting there? I'm like, no, I don't know him. And then like everybody's like, bro, who are you, bro? And he was just like, and then another comic walks in, Jesus Garcia, and he just says Jesus' name. And supposedly Jesus has invited people to the green room before, and like it's not went well. So they thought he was like, "Did you invite?" He was like, "Nah." So this dude starts reaching in his jacket, and like, "What the fuck?" And then he pulled out his phone, but you couldn't really see it was a phone because he had a black jacket on, a black phone, so the lights are already kind of dim.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, he pulls out his phone, and like Jesus tries to snick, cause like, "Why are you getting your phone out? Like, what are you doing?" Luis tries to grab it. He pulls it back. He's like, "Fuck that. That's what security's for." And after that, it was, you know, I can't share too much after that, but
he got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. There's more to that story. It's not that bad. Like, I'll be honest with you, I think they beat him up like some real essays because they were doing like nothing but body punches. they didn't hit the face, but they was body shotting the hell out of him, dog.
Yeah.
Just breaking ribs.
Man.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I think Ralph has like the coolest timeline, bro. Like,
dude, growing up like
it's cool as hell
in the cartel. Okay, so my whole thing about Ken Flores, right? I mean, incredible comic. I mean, legendary.
I did check him out. He was funny as hell.
But he passed away
so recently,
just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now.
But you did his last show with him.
Yeah, we did. We did ATL Atlanta Comedy Theater that weekend. It was like Thursday. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows, if I'm not mistaken. And we flew back Sunday. They flew to LA. I flew back to Austin, and then we were heading to Phoenix that same week. So I got my hair cut Monday. No, I got my hair braided Monday. Got my hair cut Tuesday, and I was leaving the barbershop when I had found out. And yeah, it was completely out of left field.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, not completely out of left field because, I mean.
Anytime somebody dies, you never expect that.
True.
No matter how fucked up you know they are, you just never think somebody's going to die.
Nah,
yeah,
not
until
all,
it
man.
happens, and then you're like, holy shit.
He seemed to have a premonition on it, though, dude, because he did like a podcast the week before or something like that, and
we all know we're going to die.
About, like,
so that podcast, that's old. That's like a very old podcast. He dropped hella weight. Like, he was working towards like better health, and he was yeah, man. Like, if you look at some of the pictures, I didn't know him very early on in his career, but he lost a lot of weight, like, and so he was working towards it. But as far as like the what the reasons were, I don't know. I never really asked anyways because I was like, man, this is.
I read that there was a heart defect that he had he was actually like getting it like worked on, like he was going back and forth to the doctor, so he had like probably some sort of heart issue. I'm sure like a lot of people have. Like if you're gonna have a heart attack at that young, you probably have some sort of I don't know. They got the scientific terms, but like heart issues, you know, people have them. Yeah, some sort of congestive heart failure situation. Because to die even because look, there's a lot of fucking people just as overweight as he is that are living into their 50s. So people are going to look at him and they're going to go, oh, fat guy died of a heart attack. He's fat. That's what happens.
Right.
And it's not, you know, there's probably something more there than just, oh, he was a fat guy.
Yeah.
Pre-existing condition.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have heart issues and they don't last as long. You know,
you're right.
They're
though.
genetic.
I'm just looking at like some of the pictures because I did a couple shows with him probably like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's definitely lighter.
Yeah, he's definitely lost quite a bit of weight, and that was just kind of showing like he was definitely dedicated to like getting there.
Yeah.
And I think like anybody, I mean, especially for me, I mean, I'm not like I'm overweight, but I'm not like huge or anything like that. And it's a struggle for real. Like to
I struggle with it too. Davey does steroids and works out like a maniac.
Don't.
So
I'm just an ectomorph. Bro. We talked about that. I can do whatever I want.
That's good, bro.
I have growth hormones in the past.
Yeah.
HGH.
But that's in the past. Yeah, you know.
Oh, dude. So yeah, this is.
I just decided not to watch this because I saw too many comments like this thing seems like it'd be cringe.
I love you so much, and I care about you so much.
I care about you too, and I love you so much, and I know I want to stay with you and keep growing our relationship if you'll let me.
My heart is there, but we talked about a lot of the values that I hold so close to my heart. Making this decision, my mind is telling me I can't. Rise and fall. Like I asked him about like Black Lives Matter, and I'm no expert, but like when I asked him about it, he was like, I guess I never really thought too much about it. That affected me.
You're still thinking about BLM? Don't we all know that there was a fucking scam?
Okay, well, the principle behind Black Lives Matter was good.
It was a scam.
Well, I know that,
and it was the principle was stupid because all lives matter. And then if you came out and said, "Of course, Black lives matter, all lives matter," and then they called you a racist.
I'm just saying.
That's all I remember from Black Lives Matter. It's going, yeah, obviously Black lives matter, all lives matter. You're a racist piece of shit. And it's like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Put a black square
Michael
up.
Che did a whole bit about this.
Fuck Michael Che.
Whoa. Michael Che's hilarious. First of all,
He's
Great
on Saturday,
comedian.
the guy on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Ah, he's a loser, dude.
No, he's a loser.
Everybody on Saturday Night Live except for Shane Gillis is a loser.
No, you gotta shout out to I can't even think of his name right
Marcelo?
now. Yes.
Marcelo's
thank you.
great, dude. Michael Longfellow's great. I mean, there's so many
There's some good guys
great
on
people
there.
on Saturday Night Live. And Michael Che's bit about Black Lives Matter is so fucking funny.
No comment.
It's so great. Have you seen it?
I have not.
It's so good. Look
Check
up
it out.
Michael Che Matters. It is hilarious, and it's a perfect take on why the principle behind BLM is fine, but people fucked it up, just like they always do.
The principle of like lives mattering?
Yeah.
Who
And
said Black
specifically
lives didn't
Black
matter?
Lives matter.
Whoever said they didn't?
Well, some people. I mean, David Duke probably. He probably.
I
Doesn't
think
Black
even
Lives
David
matter.
Duke wouldn't say that.
David Duke, the end of the Klan.
Yeah, I don't
leader
even
of
think
the
he would
Triple
say
K.
that. Yeah. Go look at the fucking the black guy who went and hung out with a bunch of KKK members and brought him over and got him to leave the KKK.
I did see that.
Were they were willing to hang out and fucking drink with the guy. Racist people, not all of them are like, we have to murder everybody. Some of them are just like, I just want to be left the fuck alone.
I mean, that's true.
I just want to be alone.
You sound like
I don't want
hillbilly right
yeah,
now.
I don't know. The hillbilly accent wasn't right. But yeah, I mean,
it's on brand.
So I don't know. The point I was making, I forgot what it was. But like, go ahead.
You're trying to say that the principle behind Black Lives Matter, which is like, let's bring attention to the fact
it was a grift.
I mean, arguably, yes.
Arguably, they fucking walked away with mansions. All that
I'm
money
not
donated, they
saying
bought
the
fucking
people
mansions like
that
2 women.
Exploited the BLM movement weren't evil. I'm just saying that the principle behind Black Lives Matter, which is let's bring attention to some problematic, systematic racism that may exist in facets of our society. Yeah, sure, let's call that out. And I think that's what Black Lives Matter was doing. Now, did I post a black square on my Instagram feed? No. Did you, Jordan?
Yeah, I did.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Most people did.
But that was like a long time ago when like I was easily influenced on everything that was kind of being pushed on me.
Yeah.
It happened to me too, dude. I was for the Iraq war in the early 2000s like a dumbass. And then you finally fucking realize, oh, you know, this is the funny thing.
You know what the interesting thing is that there's a lot of people that have not kind of like, this is funny, it's like have not, instead of being woke, they have not been awakened to that like reality that it's a lot of like propaganda on both sides, like don't get me wrong, but for sure. But the way that they play off of people's empathy towards a specific movement, to me is that's very satanic.
Yeah.
Because most humans have empathy by nature.
The whole Democrat fucking, a lot of politics, not so much the Republicans, but Democrats, it's all playing to your emotions. And that doesn't work that well with men because men are logical thinking. Most of them. There are some emotional bitch-ass men, but most men
Why'd you look at me when you
are
said
logical thinking, and they're going to approach something analytically and rationally.
Right.
Whereas women, they don't approach things like that. They approach things emotionally. So the Democrats play that fucking emotion game, trigger that emotions, get them to vote based on their emotions. And yeah, it's just.
But we need that. We need
it's
some
a
of
con.
that
It's all
emoting
cons
in politics, just like
No,
we
you
need it
don't.
in art, just like we need it in society
Art,
at
yeah.
large. Because you gotta have the diversity of thought and opinion.
Oh, shut
in
the
order
fuck
to
up.
progress. Look what happened for 200 years after our country was founded. For 200 years, did we make progress? Yeah, we made some progress. But when have we experienced the most progress? In the last 100 years. That's when we've experienced the most progress. And why? Because we started involving women.
I guess in the social aspect, yes, we've made
You really believe that?
progress.
Technologically, too.
You really believe that?
Yeah.
You're fucking dumb.
How?
Well, so
You're fucking dumb.
This is something interesting that he's kind of pointing out is that most of the time when we go to war, it's over God, gold, money, right? The 3 Gs, and then also women is included in that.
It is.
And so, I mean, men will go to war about pussy, like
They will.
no doubt about it.
Trojan,
and
right?
so when we go to war and we have this industrial complex or whatever that they push towards or whatnot, is like we develop a lot of technology in the pursuit of war. And so like cell phones, like for instance, I don't know how true this is, but cell phones were actually invented and were given to the military before actually.
Yeah, cell phones are just walkie-talkies, bro.
Exactly.
That's all they
So
are.
it's
The technology's been around forever. They just had to build the infrastructure of having
for sure
a giant walkie-talkie every couple miles to talk to the other walkie-talkies.
Listen, I just had to get that in before I leave.
Look, man, one of these days, Davey, we're going to have a talk, and I'm going to teach you the reality of the world.
Bro, when was the last time
because
you even
have
got
a very,
pussy, Mark?
You have
when
a
was
very
the last time?
Diversity, bringing women into the fucking economy is what caused 100 years of growth. What
You
do
can't even
What was it?
continue
It was
society.
so. It was so
you
dumb.
can't even procreate, dude.
I could. You tell me. You tell me I couldn't fucking.
Whoa.
I couldn't fucking come in a bitch. You're telling me I can't. I'm not capable of coming in a bitch.
Not long if they pass that bill. They
Jesus, Davey, that's the easiest thing anybody can do.
They say you can get fined.
There's plenty of bitches that
you don't have
you know.
intentions of having kids. I don't know what some Democrat.
It's 6:00, by the way, Davey.
Yeah, I know that. I
Okay.
have to go.
Okay, yeah.
You antagonized me right before I had to leave. Do you want to do?
Good show. Thank you, man. Fuck, man. Appreciate you. Where can we find you? You doing any shows coming up?
Yeah, got a show. When will this podcast be out? What you think?
A couple days.
Couple days.
By
yeah.
end of the week.
Got a show Saturday at the Green Room.
Okay.
Austin. With some of my homies from Dallas, the Dangerous Comedy Tour.
Mm.
And then you can find me on social media about all the shows coming up in Austin, whatnot. Got a couple dates on the road with Cam coming up. Looking forward to that for sure. Shout out to Cam Patterson. But Instagram, comedianjordan J, just the letter J, comedianjordan J, just the letter J. I do TikTok, but it's, I'm on there debating a lot of times or just listening. So that's Jordan J Comedy. But
just real quick,
yeah.
when you said it was your homies on the Dangerous Tour.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yes.
They're all black.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm the DEI hire for the tour, to be honest with you. So it's
all you think about is race.
I was just curious,
and I can't even talk realities without having to walk on eggshells.
Dude, whatever.
Around this.
Look me up on Instagram at Davey Jacks. All my shows and stuff are there.
Yeah, I'm pink to everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
I don't need to plug anything.
Thanks, guys.
Unbelievable.
Plugging stuff is gay.
This was fun.
We're gonna continue this conversation later.
got
We're gonna
to.
continue this conversation outside.
Let's do it.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm just a mama's boy, dude.
Lie, bro. I thought y'all was for real for a minute. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on?